My first guest is a true LA girl. She's been entertaining us for nearly 30 years, but she still looks 17, so I don't know how that works. The always bubbly Kyla Pratt is here to tell us about her show One on One, streaming on Netflix, and the reboot of the Proud Family, and her new show, Call Me Kat. This girl keeps a job that just debuted this week on Fox. And later on the show, we're talking to award-winning actor and TV director and Hollywood royalty, Malcolm Jamal Warner. Please welcome the woman who does everything from movies to TV shows to voiceovers. And she's pretty good at gambling, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly. We went to Vegas at one time. Please welcome Kyla Pratt. Hey, Kyla. Hey, girl.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Okay, when I'm reading this, I'm like, okay, 30 years, but you look 12. So.
I try to drink my water and get a little bit of rest.
You do, no, like for real, for real. Like sometimes I just be saying it like, oh, you look great. But you really look super young. Like, is it just water? Stress-free living?
I don't know. I think it's just genes. My mom looks super young and I don't see myself aging anytime soon. I try not to do things that harm my body and try not to stress out. I don't know. Everybody keeps asking me for the where am I drinking from the fountain of youth? And I'm like,
it's just good genes. Okay. So how did you spend your holidays? Were you with family? Did you do anything for New Year's?
I was home. With my family and just, I'm shooting right now, Call Me Kat, and I, don't want to jeopardize traveling right now with everything that's going on. So we just decided to stay home and decorate our tree. I had the girls make their own ornaments this year, trying to keep them busy while they're at home. And we brought in the new year, usually how me and my girls always do, yelling at each other and screaming and hugging each other until we love each other. So it was the same old for us. But next year, when all this is done, hopefully, we're going to get out the house.
I'm saying I cannot wait. So, do you make any resolutions? And do you keep your resolutions? Because we all work out for the first 2 weeks of the new year and then we tail off. So do you have a New Year's resolution?
Usually I'm good. I think maybe 2 years ago, I was like, okay, I need to work out more. And I really got on it and stuck to it. But mine is usually just to take what I learned from the year before and incorporate it into my life now and allow it to make me a better person. Just let it allow me to grow and not let anything that I went through hold me back, and just, that's it, really. I don't want to get anything in particular, because then when you don't make it, then you feel bad and you spend a month thinking about how you didn't do the stuff you said you was going to do. I ain't got time for that.
I'm wondering, does anybody keep their resolutions? It seems like they just sound good and they last, like I said, a couple of weeks and then we're
No, it sounds good. It's the beginning of the year. Everybody is doing all this healthiness and and trying to keep themselves together and working out. But it's a lifestyle thing. Like my man will tell me like all the time. I watch him. He works out every single day, and I'm like, okay, I need to do that because this ain't gonna work if I'm just sitting here being lazy. And I gotta feel myself. I got to follow his lead,
Now, you mentioned you brought in the new year with your girls. You have 2 young daughters. How do you keep them entertained during all of this, during the quarantine?
It's very difficult because I believe, with my kids being the age that they are, growing up in this type of time where there's, technology is taking over. I've always been like, okay, don't let them be on the iPad too long. Don't do this, don't do that. But right now it's kind of hard. So I'm trying to find educational apps that I can have them do so they feel like they're having fun as well while they're learning. Just having them come up with random stuff that they can do around the house. And my kids are extremely creative. So drawing, writing stories, making up songs, performing for mommy and daddy, and, just letting them letting them be kids and understanding that they need to be kids and they're going through this with us while we're going through it as well,
Did you homeschool?
No, with their quarantine homeschool now because school's not in, but I don't homeschool personally. No, I tell people, I'll be like, that's good, but mama need a break too. And, and I'm sure they need a break from us. I like for them to, feel like there's a life outside of, being around mommy and daddy and family all day. So no.
So let's talk about some of your shows, your sitcom One on One, your animated show Proud Family, and your movie Dr. Dolittle 2 will be turning 20 years old this year.
Wow.
Does it feel like it's been
All of
2 decades?
That's crazy. See, and I don't realize, like, everybody always says that I look young, and I'm like, I don't realize how old I am until someone tells me that something I worked on is 20 years old. And then I'm like, wait, really? Oh, okay. I thought I was 21, but it's cool.
Right. So One-on-One is now streaming on Netflix. How was it working on that show? And tell us about that cast reunion that you all had on Zoom. How was that?
That was absolutely amazing. I literally shot that show from the age of, well, we shot the pilot when I was 12, and then the show ran from when I was 14 to 19 years old. So I basically grew up there. And I didn't really realize what we were doing at the time we were doing it. I tell people all the time, like, I was a normal teenage girl. I was like, oh, this is job. This was fun. Okay, I'm finna go hang out with my homegirls. I'll be back. I'll come to work the next week, and they're like, hey, there's so many people who watched the show last week. And I'm like, oh, people are watching this? Like, oh, okay, that's cool. But now, the fact that it had its anniversary and now it's streaming on Netflix, like, it's amazing to see what it meant to so many people when I had no idea what I was a part of, So I'm just, blessed to be a part of something that great. And it was nice to do the reunion because we all hadn't really talked to each other in years. And I feel like it brought us back closer,
A lot of people want these shows to come back, and the nostalgia of these shows. I mean, I kind of feel like that era of sitcoms was just the golden era for Black sitcoms. You know what I mean? It was just like we all grew up kind of watching them, and I'm for it. I'm definitely for it.
I'm for it too, as long as people do it right. Don't just do it just to do it. Like, it has to come correct. If you touching something that means so much to so many people, it has to be done the right way.
Exactly. Well, Kyla, we have some viewer comments from the YouTube chat. TP says, Kyla and Malcolm, this is a good show. Thomas says, Kyla looks the same. And Erica says, it's been 20 years. Wow, I'm getting old. I think we all feel that way. Like, where did the time go? And I want to ask you, you were 14 years old on a poppin' show. Like, how did that feel going to school knowing, like, when I was 14, I think I had a paper route and I think I made about $30 a week. Okay. And I had to drag 74 papers on my little BMX bike. You were on a really good, successful sitcom. And then you go to, and going to school at the time. How, like, share with us, like, were you feeling yourself? Was you feeling yourself? Or was you just like, it's no big deal? Because
I feel like because I was so young and I found out so young what I wanted to do and what I loved, I was feeling myself as a way of confidence, that no one could tell me anything about myself, but not to the point where I felt like I was better than. I went to ninth regular high school in the 9th grade, and then I was homeschooled the rest of the time because I started one-on-one, but I was still going to all the homecomings. I was still going to all the parties. I was still hanging out, with everybody. And I just really felt like I looked at it as a job, and I was like, oh, I'm just chilling. I want to go hang out with my friends, and hopefully, they have time for me and I got time for them. And I was chill. Like, some people now, I don't understand how they look at stuff like, oh, people are going to watch this. I'm like, I have no idea if they're going to watch it, but as long as it can affect a couple of people, that's, what we do it for.
Well, it seems like even though you started at such a young age, you still maintained humility, and I think that's why people still like you and want to work with you, and you're going to always stay working. That's what I think.
Thank you. Girl, I hope so, because I love it.
Girl, I remember going to a casting. I saw a girl that did one music video, and from the time before when she didn't have one to the time she walked in with the glasses on, holding a small puppy, and was feeling herself. And I'm like, wait, it's one video.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who get that type of energy when they, get a piece of success. And in this industry, you never know. Like, there can be years where you're working and everything's coming your way, and then there's years where nothing's happening, and now you're questioning everything, and you're like, but wait, why am I not, what's going on? I don't understand. So you kind of have to sit back and understand that when jobs come your way, it's because it was meant to be. It's for you. If somebody else books it, it was for them. And sometimes you'll be working and sometimes you won't. So you got to kind of keep it on just be a little, just chill. Like, it's
Relax.
not, and it's, I tell people all the time, like, I am an ordinary person with an extraordinary job, and I am above no one. You know what I mean? Like, we're all human beings. Like, I just love what I do, and I'm very appreciative that people enjoy watching what I do.
Love it. Love it. You can tell. All right. Well, we got to talk about the classic series, Disney's The Proud Family. So, how'd you get that part, and what was it like playing the role of Penny Proud?
Well, I auditioned for that part, and it's crazy because I could not stand my voice as a kid. I think I got sick or something in like the 8th grade, and my voice got raspy, and people used to be like, "Oh, you're like a boy, your voice is changing." So I was like, "I don't like my voice," and I ended up booking the Proud Family, and someone on the Proud Family had been replaced, and I was like, "They're going to replace me! Oh my goodness! Like I can't believe this!" And it never happened. Thankfully. But yeah, that's another crazy one too. Like I did one-on-one in the Proud Family at the same time. So for me, it was just exciting to be a part of something so special. And the character was already drawn. I love the stories that they were telling. And I didn't realize as a kid that it was teaching me as it was teaching everyone else who was watching it. You know, there's a bunch of things that I never knew about until I shot that series.
So, we hear the show is coming back to Disney Plus. Now, can you share any details and what will make the reboot different than the original?
Well, the show is being rebooted for Disney Plus. Penny Proud is back. The Proud Family, louder and prouder, and I really feel like it is a complete like 2021 version of what we gave y'all back in the day. Like there's so many different stories that we have going on that a lot of people wouldn't necessarily talk about, or
Mhm.
a lot of cartoons might not address. And I feel like it's going to be a little shocker for everybody, and everybody's like, when is it coming? I'm like, look, we announced it and the pandemic happened, so we kind of got delayed a little bit. We had to start recording from home, but they're getting all the episodes together and it will be ready for you soon, I promise.
Right. You before we go to break, I want to talk about you started some classic movies along the way, such as Dr. Dolittle, Love and Basketball, Fat Albert, Hotel for Dogs, and so much more. Now, which role was the most challenging for you to execute?
The most challenging. Oh, out of all of them, I've been so fortunate to work with some amazing, amazing people and been on great sets. I don't have horror stories like a lot of people do. Um, I would say the most challenging would probably have to be Fat Albert, and that was just because I was 17 years old, had my own spot, wanted to kick it, wanted to hang out, and so I had to learn how to balance being kind of like an adult in the business and having responsibilities and not having someone like waking me up in the morning saying, hey, it's time to go to work. I had to kind of be a grown up, and I at 17 I was like, I was staying up late chilling. So luckily luckily everything turned out okay, but that's the only way that it was a struggle. Luckily I was on set with some amazing people, and I love watching, especially Keenan now. Just everything that he's doing is amazing. So
Okay.
good things happen to good people.
That's right. And speaking of that, I don't think people understand, that you pretty much appeared in every show in the 90s and the 2000s. And we like to give you your flowers right now. The list includes Living Single, Moesha, The Parkers, Friends, Touched by an Angel, In the House, The Parenthood, Smart Guy, Insecure, Walker, Texas Ranger, Sister Sister, Becker, The Hughleys, Strong Medicine, ER, and more. And now my old ass is out of breath, but congratulations. I want to wish you all the continued success. And
Thank
I want to know,
you.
do you think you get the credit you deserve as an actress? Because that is quite an impressive list. And I know you have more to go. You've done a lot.
Thank you. I don't know. It's difficult because sometimes when you're in certain situations, you feel like, hold on, why are you talking to me like this? Like I've been working my ass off. Hold on a second. But then you also have to sit back and be like, you have to stay in that place of, this is what I love to do. And what's meant for me is meant for me. And anybody with that type of energy who's given me that type of energy, they won't be here long. So don't worry about that, because it's all about longevity. It's all about continuing to be able to do this, to want to do this forever. It's not about, let's get the one big thing right now and that's cool. Like, no, like how do I stay here? This is what I love to do. So I don't know if I get the recognition, but I really feel like that I get a lot of love from a lot of different people, and who love my work, and a lot of people that I've worked with who are dope. So that's all I can really ask for. One day there's other things that are going to come my way, and hey, I'm just
Kyla, I've never heard anything that wasn't complimentary about you. I've only heard positive things about you. Like, seriously, like I never hear anything negative about you. Like, it's all love. I think you are universally loved, like in the business and industry, inside and out. Like, and I'm not just gassing you. I don't ever
Thank
hear anything bad
you.
about you. So we're
I
gonna
mean,
take a quick break.
anytime I gotta bang on somebody, I try to do it in a nice way because they know that it's all love. But don't play
I
with me.
do feel like you have that in you, but you haven't had to use it much. So that's a
I
good
mean,
thing.
I do, but I try to do it from a point of view of don't let little Miss Kyla, who you think is very, very sweet, let you think you can get over on me. Don't do that. But I try to do it in a nice and pleasant way. But I'm not playing. But
Got it.
so
All
I
right. Well, on
appreciate
that note, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk to Kyla about our new show and what else she's working on for 2021. Stay tuned for more Out Loud on Fox Soul when we return. We are back with Out Loud with your girl, Claudia Jordan. Now, Soulmates, if you want to see more Fox Soul content, you can go to www.foxsoul.tv or download that Fox Soul app or watch us on your smart TV on Fox Now, Fire TV, Roku, YouTube, Apple TV, Zoom, Tubi, or Caffeine.tv. I am here with the actress that has done it all, Miss Kyla Pratt. So, okay, I got to ask you how you managed to look the same way. We kind of covered it a little bit, but the fans want to know now. They press me. How did she still look the same way she does as a teenager? You said water and lack of stress or not too much stress. Is that it? Like, nothing else?
I don't know. I don't know. Like I said before, like my mom looks young. Like I have no idea. I've kind of, started to embrace it because when I was younger, I used to be like, hold on, don't tell me I look 11. That's not cute. Okay. But but now, as I'm getting older, it's cool. I'll take it. I try to wash my face often.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Try to, moisturize, do the simple things in life.
Remember we were younger, when we were young, we wanted to be 21 and 25 so bad. And then we get older, we like, y'all can have this.
Man, like I can't.
Right. All right.
I've always looked young though. I've always, even as a kid, like when I would audition for things, I always played at least 2 years younger. And I hated it as a kid. I'm like, no, I'm older. And then as I was getting older, I remember like a bunch of my homeboys when I was 18, all of a sudden wasn't my homeboys right no more. They was trying, what they do when you turn 18. And I was like, I'm 18, but I look 15. You're disgusting.
Does it work in your favor though?
You said what?
Does it work in your favor as an actress to look a lot younger?
Yeah, I think so. It was hard at first because you have all these, especially like Instagram and stuff. Like everybody just looks older, and I think there's a meme going around of me, and it's like me loving basketball. It's like us at 15, and then kids at 15 now, and this girl, she like face beat, looking fire. And I'm like, that's exactly what it is. Like, I don't even know if I've ever been that beat.
Right. Are you vegan?
No, I'm not. I'm pescatarian.
You are? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the 90s classic movie Set It Off was turned into a stage play. So how was that experience playing the role of Stoney?
That was absolutely amazing. My mother did theater when I was younger, and I watched her. And I was an extra in a couple of her plays when I was about 6, 7 years old. And so looking at her, it made me want to be an actress. And so when this opportunity came about, I was like, wait a second, like Set It Off. First of all, that's a classic. But then you sit back and you're like, oh, I'm going to be working with 3 other women. I hope they're not crazy. Like, please, everybody just get along. Like, how is this going to be? Like, let me just take a deep breath. And the fact that we all came together and bonded so quickly and had each other's back. And Demetria McKinney's a good friend of mine. And she's like that's where you learn it from. She was the one that guided us through the stage play because the rest of us hadn't done plays before. And to see Brat come alive as Cleo, to see LaToya kill it as Frankie, like just to be with each other every weekend doing a bunch of shows, something that I never had been able to do before was an amazing experience. Like I had so much fun.
Is that where you first met Demetria or were you friends already?
No, that's where I first met Demetria. That was my first time meeting all the girls. So it was exciting because, we all had our own ideas of each other's personality before we met each other. And then everybody just completely, shocked each other. Like I just, and we bonded. So I'm happy that I got to be a part of that. It was amazing.
I love to see that it's so real too, because like I mentioned earlier, we all went to Vegas together. I'm good friends with Demetria, and it seemed like y'all had been knowing each other for a lifetime, the way y'all were around each other.
Oh, that's my girl. It's
Yeah.
like when you meet people and you have people around you who you know have your back, like that's who you keep in your corner. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of crazy people in this industry. So when you find people that you know are crazy in a good way, you keep them close.
Exactly. Hey, so I want to congratulate you on your new show, your new Fox show, Call Me Kat. What can you tell us about your show and the character Randy that you play?
Well, Call Me Kat is on Fox. It just premiered this last Sunday, but our normal time is on Thursdays at 9 p.m. on Fox. It's a show starring Mayim Bialik, and it's about a 39-year-old woman who something drastic happens in her life. She loses her father, and she decides that she doesn't want to work in as a math professor anymore. That's not what's fulfilling to her, and she decides that she wants to open up a cat cafe. She loves cats and she loves coffee, and I played the barista, Randy, who works at her cat cafe, who does not like cats. And I'm pretty much talking mess the entire time, laughing at her because she's extremely quirky. And of course, my character is not. And just having fun. And my sidekick on the show, we're each other's sidekick, is Leslie Jordan, who everybody knows as an internet sensation now, but he's been an actor for years, and he's exactly who he is online. Hilarious.
I love him.
Oh, he's hilarious. Like the stuff that comes out of his mouth, you're like, wait, what? No, Leslie, you can't say that. Don't say that out loud. People are gonna hear you. Like he is just so much fun to be around. We have Julian Gant, who's from Detroit. That's my boy. Cheyenne Jackson. We have Swoozie Kurtz. Like everybody that's a part of this cast is just amazing and sweet and talented. And it's our cast is super diverse. You have so many people from different aspects of life, different parts of the industry, and now we're all coming together to make something quirky and funny with great messages for y'all. So I hope you guys like it.
Love it. Now, did y'all film during COVID? And if so, what was it like?
Yes, we were supposed to shoot our pilot last March, and that's when everything shut down. So we were pushed off for a little bit because we actually were supposed to premiere in the fall. And we didn't start shooting until this October. And the whole entire thing has been in COVID. We're actually on break right now, and we go back in a week. And it's been crazy. We have so many guidelines. I get my hair and makeup done and have to put a mask and shield right back on. You're tested 3 days before you're able to even go to the lot. And then when you get to the lot, you're tested again. If you have to be in close proximity of someone on set, you have to be tested again. They're going through every procedure that they need to make sure that, you know, we keep our cast and crew safe. We have over 200 people working on the show. So we want to make sure that everybody can keep working.
Well, good. I'm glad you're able to get back to film, because I know for a while it seemed like Hollywood was never coming back.
And it was painful because, especially for someone who loves to work, and I hadn't worked in so long, and I was so excited to be a part of this, for it to be shut down. And I'm like, wait, you guys are shutting down production and my kids can't go to school. So we all finna be at home together, just chilling. Okay. It was a very, you know, stressful time, but I had to look at on the bright side. It was like, you know, something telling us to slow down and focus on the important things and what we need to focus on. And I took the time to really work on myself and different things in my life that needed more attention. And for that reason, I'm glad that it happened.
Okay. Well, on a more serious note, you know, we've seen the negative impact that the industry has had on, you know, a lot of child stars. You know, people like you, T and Tamara, Brandy, Raven Simone, and others have transitioned into adult actors without issue, and still remaining, you know, positive role models. How did you make the transition with so much grace? Because it seems like this business is really rough on child stars, and a lot of times they don't really get to the other side.
It's really rough, and that's why I kind of it turns my stomach a little bit when people, you know, do have comments to make about people who didn't make it through the same things that we have, because it's difficult. It's a hard industry to be in, especially reaching such a high at such a young age and trying to maintain that high and trying to keep that high. And that's all that you know. and there's not really great people surrounding you all the time in this industry. I'm really big on energy. So if I am around you and your energy's not right, I don't keep it. I don't have to know what it is. I just feel it. And I'm like, nah, I'm straight. Like, I'm good. Or I don't want to be put in a situation that's going to take me out of character where I know I can go that I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just, you stay over there. I'm going to stay over here. A lot of people don't have that, are not able to do that. And I have a very strong support system. I love what I do, but I also had to sit back for a minute and be like, this is what I love, but it's not my entire life. Especially with this business, you're told no so many times that you start to question yourself, and it starts feeding your insecurities when you're told no and no, 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 and then you finally get a yes. So it's kind of like you just got to keep on trucking. So I just, it's hard. That's why I talk to everybody, about mental health and really understanding that you got to be up here, got to be together, and you got to constantly work at that, because there's so many things out here that can tear you down, and so many things that can get stuck in your head and make you tear your own self down. And the only person who can get in my way is me, and I'm not going to allow that. So,
well, speaking of you, we do have a clip from your new show, Call Me Kat. So let's take a quick look.
Oh, hello. Call Me Kat is a new show about a 39-year-old single woman who leaves her job to open a cat cafe. I need to find you a name.
How about ugly ass cat?
Breaking down the fourth wall creates an intimacy with the audience. One root beer, please.
Cat?
Hot Max? That was meant for you.
You want to grab some dinner?
Oh, I am so sorry.
Love it. Congratulations, Kyla. I'm so happy for you.
I love it. I feel like it's so different. It's so unique. There's so many different types of comedy involved. So I just hope everybody gives it a chance.
Well, everybody, please support Kyla Pratt, Call Me Kat, her new show, and everything she does, because she's talented, she's sweet, she's humble, and we just want to keep on seeing her on our big and small screen. So thank you so much. It was so nice to see you and catch up with you.
Thank you for having me, Claudia. As soon as the casinos open up properly, we back in that thing.
Listen, girls trip, me, you, and Demetria, we are in Vegas. It's a date.
Let's go.
All right.